プラズマプロダクションプレゼンツプラズマバースポッドキャスト。
Hey everyone, Filippo here. Welcome to another PlasmaVerse Podcast. And today with me we got Davide, Greco, Colorist. And Davide, it's great to have you here. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Great. We're going to talk about Davide's work, Davide's mindset, what is to him like to be a colorist. And Davide, where are you exactly from?
I was born and live in Switzerland.
Switzerland. That's great.
Yes, in the capital.
Mhm.
It is Bern,
Mhm.
and but my origin is Italy. Yeah, my father and mother are from Italy, both. Yeah.
Yeah. I felt that from your surname and from your name,
Yeah,
Davide
right.
Greco. Yeah. First time we talk each other, I thought you were Italian, and then you said me that you're from Switzerland, so you're half Switzerland and half Italian.
So no, basically I'm Italian. I'm
100% Italian.
Yeah,
Ah,
I'm
okay.
100% Italian, but I was born here in Switzerland. So I was
Okay.
raised also with the Italian language.
Hmm.
And then, of course, with the schools, etc., I learned, of course,
Right.
German. Yes, with German.
And you are our first Switzerland professional here on the PlasmaVerse podcast. That's great. So
That's
Davide,
great.
I really admire your work. For the ones that doesn't know that, I knew Davide back in I think 1 or 2 years ago for
Yeah.
his Colorist companion, a product Davide created that, it's my opinion, has been a game changer for tons of production. I'm also using it on tons of documentaries and feature films that currently working on, because
Thank you.
for the ones that doesn't know the Colorist companion, it's a product that I'll let you talk about it a bit, but it's a product that it's a must have for your production, in my opinion, as a colorist. And how you came up with that? What do you think about that? How you came up with that?
So I came up with the idea that I want to be a little bit more efficient with before I even have to grade,
Mhm.
because my problem was back in the days that I had emails,
Mhm.
of course, from clients. I had calls,
Mhm.
and I have my own notes.
Mhm.
So then I took the printer and printed all out, and then I have maybe 2 or 3 pages with full of random notice. So
Mhm.
with notes. So then I created by myself some sheets
Mhm.
with some clarification on it, so that the process is more efficient. And then during the Corona time, I had more time for myself, so I thought to professionalize the whole concept of working more efficient, and then I created the Colorist Companion.
Yeah, and by the way, for the ones that are not just listening to the podcast but also watching the video, I'm just scrolling through your webpage, letting our audience see what it is about. It's a PDF version, and also you got a physical version that is purchasable all around the world. And actually, it's a PDF or a physical version that will help you, to stay organized and talk, with the client about the project, the budget, the type of feel and mood that it must have, and also, the type of renders, all the things that you need to ask your clients before you even start working. We also
Yeah.
collaborate during 2022 on I won't call it an evolution. It's like a second version of the companion, and we call it the Colorist Sidekick. It's actually
Yeah.
a different version of the companion. It's available for free as a PDF on the Plasma shop. So if you don't have it, just go grab it. But I suggest you also to take the companion from Davide website, because it's a must, in my opinion, to have a physical copy. I normally, use the companion and the sidekick both on paper, mainly because it feels better to me, to take notes. And I have the PDF on the iPad, but normally, having the physical copy is way better. And then you came up also with the Colorist cockpit. What is that
Yes.
about?
Yes, this is the concept is the same. everything in one page.
Mm-hmm.
And this is about when you have to write a quote.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds pretty simple. It is, but I sometimes made the similar mistakes because sometimes you have to write a quote, sometimes it has to be fast, sometimes it is a great project that you want to work on it, and then you maybe lower the price because they don't have a lot of budget, but it's a
Yeah.
great project. And then you sometimes forget to ask important things that could make your work pretty hard,
Yeah.
because you think, okay, it will took me 1 day, and then maybe it's 1.5 or 2 days because you forget to ask some important questions.
Yeah.
So it's all in one page,
Mm-hmm.
so that when you write a quote, you have everything on it. You don't have any surprises. You know what you have to do, and this is the whole concept.
Yeah.
That you don't make mistakes or forget to ask the
Mm-hmm.
most important questions before you accept a project
Yeah.
or before you write a quote.
Yeah, that's a really important thing. Maybe just thinking about even the different type of deliveries that we have. Maybe you
Yeah,
you don't know that you have to do maybe an HDR delivery, and maybe you are a colorist without an HDR monitor, and you find yourself in the need of like renting an HDR monitor, and in the need of working more on the project to make the HDR pass. And so it's crucial also to take care, obviously, of the budgets. And about HDR, I'm asking this previously, this question to other colorists that are here on the podcast, and right now, it's not a thing that everyone is involved with or that everyone is working with. What is right now your situation with HDR? Are you doing something with HDR, or is it a thing that doesn't happen quite often?
no, it happens, to be honest, just one time,
Mm-hmm.
and it was live show. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's a concert.
Mm-hmm.
It was 1.5 hours, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and I have it to grade it on HDR. In
Okay.
Switzerland, in compared to other countries like the US,
Mm-hmm.
it's a very small market here.
Yeah.
So I think HDR will be maybe a thing in a couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe not even. Maybe we have to wait a little bit longer to be not mainstream, of course, but more productions are motivated to produce it or to deliver it and display it on HDR. But for the moment, I don't have that much experience.
Yeah.
Like I said, I know what it is. I know how to deal with it. I made a project who was 1.5 hour concert with different cameras and lenses, but that's it. Yeah, I would like to
Yeah.
have more HDR because it's different,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really exciting how the image can look.
Yeah, yeah. In my opinion, I'm asking this because I, start having different projects in AGR, and one of these, it's from our first episode of this podcast, from an episode that went on YouTube on the Media Division channel, and I like felt a kind of depression, not right now grading everything in HDR, because like having the possibility of like using wider color space and more nits give you also the possibility of letting people really see what's in the blacks and proper details in the white areas. And I think I see tons of things done in HDR that are also over processed, in my opinion, too saturated, but on the other side, if you just pass that thing and you try to like make people see the details, I find really exciting HDR. But as you mentioned, especially in Europe, in my opinion, HDR is not a thing that it's requested a lot on different
Yeah,
production, just in cinema. But yeah,
yeah,
it's for sure a thing. And about that, just want to talk about your latest projects. I'm right now gonna share also for
yeah.
our audience some of
Mhm.
your latest projects. And I see some different on this. Which one of the
Hmm.
of like I think it's translated in Italian right now your website because I pressed like the translation button, but I see one that is translated as Norvegese, no, from commercial. It shouldn't be Norvegese maybe.
Yes, is
No,
it on Greco?
Norquain or something. No, it's a commercial.
On Norcane? Yeah, this is
Norquain.
an older one. This is an older
It's older.
project.
I
Yeah,
saw some stills from it, and I really
yeah,
enjoyed that.
yeah. This is Norcane is how do you say? I would say it's one of my favorites
Hmm.
and
I
my
can see
latest.
the film print emulation you use here.
Yeah, yeah. I had less experience,
Hmm.
and I had a totally other workflow
Hmm.
than today,
Hmm.
but it works anyway.
Yeah, stills good.
And yeah, and one of my latest is the one on top on the left, who is called Yael Et.
Yahel. Ah,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
this
here it
is a
is.
music video that I made last week, and now
Mm-hmm.
today it went online.
Oh,
And
great.
yeah, this was
Perfectly in time.
yeah, perfect in time. Yeah, and this is my latest.
Hmm.
Yes,
Hmm.
this one,
I'm
and
opening. I'm opening the video while you talk about it. And by the way, just talk about the process
yeah,
if you want to share how you
yeah.
manage to grade it. Are you using? Have you used on this just a standard process or something particular?
Yeah, I have to think about it. Yeah.
Hmm.
So this one I have to think about. So what I remember pretty good is that it was shot entirely
Hmm.
with two cameras, and this was the Sony FX6,
Okay.
and then the smaller one, I think it's called FX3, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I worked for the first time since a long time again with some kind of Sony Alphas and FXs.
Hmm.
But I have to say the new ones, so like the one they choose for this for this
Hmm.
music video, it holds very well. So
Yeah.
I was surprised. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not a codec like RAW, and but it helps pretty good because in some cases I had to mask and to set the exposure pretty high,
Yeah.
and it holds pretty good. It was pretty stable. I was surprised. I didn't use a lot of secondaries with the
Hmm.
qualifier, so I can imagine because it was I think 42 10-bit, you will see some restrictions, of course, or some
Hmm.
artifacts while you are qualifying some
Not so many. Not
art.
so many.
Yeah, but just to say, maybe there you will see some more restrictions.
Hmm.
But I didn't use any, or maybe one or two.
Hmm.
But also with the tools, with the hue versus hue versus sat,
Hmm.
and sat with sat, and all the stuff, and with offset, it holds pretty good. I was really surprised.
Yeah, yeah. I like. I'm passing, some frames from it because
Yeah.
I'm not finding the mute audio mute on the player on the website, but and I want
Oh,
to, and the people would hear, the music video really
yeah.
loud, and
Maybe it's
I'm
strange.
just watching at some frames, and these are really good. And you didn't use film print emulation here?
Let me check. I have just because I graded
Oh, just
since
if you
just
remember, it's not a
yeah.
problem. Uh,
I will. I have just to check some
because
stuff here.
on the exteriors there is this kind of Kodak feel
Yeah. I have just check. I
really
think
good.
let me check. So at the end,
And
let
the
me
and
just
the
remember.
skin tones are really gorgeous. So you
Yeah,
didn't
they're
use
really good.
qualifiers here or anything.
No,
What do you
no,
think
really not.
about, by the way, what do you think about the usage of qualifier? I ask this question because it's, I think,
Yeah,
the only tool in DaVinci Resolve that I never use. I don't know you,
really.
if you,
Yeah.
yeah, because I don't know, when even if I make fixed structures, I don't know. I try not to relate on qualifiers, but that's like my
Yeah,
opinion, and that just want to know
yeah,
what you think about it if you use
yeah.
them.
So for me, it's the same. I only use qualifier when it's necessary. So when the other tools doesn't work,
Hmm.
then I choose it.
Okay.
Then sometimes I choose it just a qualifier or qualifier with a mask,
Hmm.
with tracked or not tracked.
Yeah.
But this is the thing because it takes me a lot of time. If I build
Yeah.
up a look, for example, based on qualifier,
Hmm.
it works, but it's you you spend so much time on perfectioning every shot with the qualifier and adjusting it. So I try with some basic tools. I even since 6 months or so, I am used to it also to so I discovered the how do you say it?
The image wipe.
It's not qualifier. No, it's not the qualifier. It's the other tool with the spider
It's
net
isn't
symbol.
the image warper.
Yeah, it's the
Image
warper. Yeah, I
warper. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah
Also, the warper
yeah
is a great
I
tool.
yeah I didn't like it first
Hmm.
for a long time, and then I sit really down and tweaked a little bit. So what I did,
Hmm.
now that you ask, the whole foliage stuff in the wood,
Hmm.
this is done with the look, of course, so with some kind of offset, and then with the color warper. So
Okay.
I
I'm
pushed
gonna open it.
greens, I desaturated the greens
Hmm.
and pushed it to blue.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
can
then,
see
of
that.
course, with
Great.
combination of offset and stuff. Yeah. But this was the main thing that I
Hmm.
used the color warper for that kind of stuff. Then for skin tone correction, instead of using the qualifier, if
Hmm.
I can, I make it with the hue versus hue
Hmm.
with some 3 or 4 points in the red till yellow,
Hmm.
or I do it with the warper.
Okay.
And I had pretty good results. Yeah. And what I
Yeah.
also use for skin tone correction is the RGB mixer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I
Well,
think
result is it's
for this
consistent and
music
good.
video, I made it with, I think it was mainly made with the RGB mixer that
Hmm.
the skin tones were in the woods, that,
Hmm.
that kind of yellow.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
can
then
see
for
the
the film
vibes.
print, if I remember right, sorry. Yeah.
No, no, no. I was saying that I can see those vibes on the greens.
Yeah. And for creating the look, I think I chose a film print.
Hmm.
It can, yeah, I don't remember if it was a negative or positive or both, but I think both. I don't think so. I think I used a negative, if I'm
Okay.
not right. Yeah, but I don't remember if it was a Fuji something or a Kodak. This one I don't remember because I'm not sitting in
Yeah,
front
yeah, yeah, yeah.
of.
No problem.
But
It's
I think it was some kind of negative print
yeah.
first,
It's
a
it's
negative stock. So,
it still is gold for some of our listeners to know your
of course,
the way you worked on this, because it looks
yeah.
really natural on some shots and really uh,
Mhm.
punchy and expressive on some other, and can see the film print emulation really talking, especially on the skin tones and on their
Mhm.
high, that are really uh, going out from the frame, those really cyan blue eyes are really strong, and
Yeah.
you did a really great job in my opinion here.
Thank
and
you. Thank you.
and the artist is Jael, so and the
Yes,
songs
Yael, and she's a Swiss, yeah, a
Liti,
Swiss
okay.
singer.
It's also findable on
Yeah.
YouTube and around also,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, great.
Yes. Yes. Since today. Yes. If you type Yael and then ET written
It's it.
in German, like double E and double and T double E, then it will show up.
And
Yeah.
then the
Or
other
you
one
watch
that
the
I'm
video.
seeing on your portfolio
Mhm.
on the main page, there is
Mhm.
another project that you are proud of. You also made something for Lint. I saw
Yeah.
those types of shots many times. They shot different commercial, but they maintain that kind of shot with the chocolate matter, how they call it, like
Yeah, the
with
Met,
the
yeah.
chocolate. Yeah,
It's
the
called the
mat.
chocolat.
Yeah, yeah. That
Yeah,
kind of shot, it's on every one of their production.
yeah,
Really, really
yeah.
good.
This is their thing. Yeah, this is their thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's their
They
thing.
have.
Really, really good. Some slow motion, maybe made with a phantom. What they used here? Maybe a phantom, yeah, for the slow motion, hyper
Yeah,
slow motion. Yeah.
yeah. So I know. I don't remember if it was a Phantom,
Hmm.
but I know that there were a lot of VFX there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see them.
I don't know if exactly if this was real or not. I
Hmm.
think the nuts were falling down in
Hmm.
super slow motion. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was VFX.
By the way, great. Also,
Now it depends which commercial you are watching.
I'm watching the
Is
one on the main page.
one are
Still in
see
Italian,
which
it's called
thumbnail? Which
Cioccolato al latte
the
lì.
chocolate, the
Yeah,
right, the one on the right.
yeah, it's the one on the right. Should be that one.
I don't hear you. Just a moment. Um,
You hear
do you
me?
hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, now I hear you. I
Okay.
was on mute. I'm so sorry.
No
I'm so
problem. No
sorry.
problem. It's the one
And
on the right.
yeah,
Yes. The one on the right
okay.
with the matter as the main
Yeah, let me
one. Yeah.
check.
Yeah. Really,
Yeah.
really, really
So
gorgeous and consistent, and also the exterior shot are beautifully done. Loving them.
yeah, the DOP, it's a pretty good one. It's Pascal Reinmann,
Ah. Okay.
and yeah, I work yeah, I think for the fourth time together.
Oh. Okay.
And yeah, I like his style, and yeah, he knows how to use light and the camera, of course. Yeah,
And obviously,
yeah.
that's a really great thing to have in post production. you know, I was
Hmm. Yeah.
I was talking yesterday about the fact that it's crucial to have a
Hmm.
properly cinematographed scene in order to make
Yeah.
a great color grading. Yeah, and
Yeah. I
and
mean, back in, sorry,
no.
no,
Tell me.
I was just saying, yeah, it is important because back in the days when I first started, of
Hmm.
course, I didn't have these kind of projects.
Hmm.
So I had some DSLR. I began with DSLR footage and stuff, and it never looks good, you know.
Yeah.
Of course, the experience was on another level back then, much lower. But the process is still today similar. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't change the whole concept of color grading for
Yeah.
myself. It's just more experience, of course, more skills. I know what can look good and what not, but it's not the whole new stuff that I learned.
Yeah.
But if you have good cinematographer, it is easier, because back in the days it was more correcting
Hmm.
to make it look decent,
Hmm.
and that's it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was pretty difficult. Of course, today I can make more with bad footage instead of back in the days, but it will never look that good that it
Yeah.
looks today if
Yeah.
you have bad footage.
Yeah, that's sure. Also, fortunately, the overall level just rised up a bit. So also we have
Yeah,
more and more DP that know what they do. And I always mention the fact that when we have a great cinematography, we just need like 2 or 3 nodes or 4 nodes, just the minimum to like
yeah.
maybe fix the exposure or a bit the white balance, and then make the look with the minimum one that we might need. And uh, yeah, for
Hmm.
sure that's a sure thing. I wanted to ask you how you became a colorist. You started like doing other things around this world, or you went straight in post production?
No, back in the days I was all rounder,
Hmm.
still self-employed,
Hmm.
but all rounder. So I had knowledge in cinematography,
Hmm.
post production, like cutting, and
Hmm.
then motion graphics. And I was um, pretty good in After Effects.
Hmm.
And then the more I shot
Hmm.
commercials and music video, and when I set up the lights, etc.,
Hmm.
I was figuring out that the main thing that I'm most interested is color and contrast. Of course, it is also the job of a DOP, but I was not thinking like a DOP. I was thinking like a colorist. So I moved the light with gels a lot, and I concerned about contrast. And then I was motivated to trying to create my own footage, and then I just felt in love some kind. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just realized, oh, it's really fun. And then back in the days, I didn't have Resolve. I had just After Effects, and then the company Red Giant made the
Hmm.
first plugin. I think it was Magic Bullet
Yeah,
Lux 1 or
Magic
so.
Bullet looks.
And then it first, yeah, and then it was the first tools. Oh, okay, this is gamma, this is gain, this is shadows. I had no idea
Yeah, I remember that.
before that that you can make looks with wheels. So I had, with my knowledge of After Effects, I made my first grading stuff for music video. I made only with curves, tint, three tone, dual tone, and then some adjustment layers with some mask in
All
it,
on
and
adjustment
that's it.
layer. I remember that in After Effects you had the adjustment layer and you put everything one on the other, and
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah,
And I remember the first time I saw Magic Bullet looks, and I think, what are these wheels? Are not working properly as the
yeah,
curve, because the using curves was to one that doesn't have much knowledge about color grading. It was something weird because with curves you were like super direct and instantly efficient because you have instant contrast and stuff, and with the tint you
mhm,
could add like a color and blend everything with the tint, with the offset and with the opacity.
yeah.
And yeah, I
That's
remember that. And also Red Giant did tons of more like plugins during these days. I remember that too. It was a great moment, great era. It was around, I think,
yeah.
2012 or something, like 2011.
Yeah, yeah, it's there. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I started like 2010, and then a couple of years later came Red Giant with the Magic Bullet looks. Yeah, this could be
yeah,
12 in
same
12 or
thing.
so. Yeah,
And how
yeah.
you knew about DaVinci Resolve?
So then, after this whole struggle, I don't remember if I saw like on how is the name of this post production dude, Mashwitz, something like that, who
Hmm.
works also for Red Giant. I don't
Okay,
Stu Mashwitz.
I don't
I'm
remember. No.
I think he mentioned that Resolve is now for $999,
Hmm.
and I have no idea what Resolve is. I just read about it. So then I went to Germany
Hmm.
to a very famous colorist, Blake Jones,
Okay.
who worked also for Black Magic. I think he wrote the first instruction book
Hmm.
of Black Magic, if I'm not mistaken, but
Okay.
he is known for worldwide. And then I went to a 6-day one-on-one class
Oh,
because I had no idea how Resolve worked because it was very complicated.
yeah.
Coming from coming from After Effects and Premiere Pro, or not even, I started
Yeah,
with
this
Edius.
CS3
Yeah,
maybe.
Grass Valley. Yeah, and then today with Resolve you can just drag and drop if you like, or you just import it and it works. And back in the days, it was really complicated for
Yeah.
my taste to make it work. So I went to his class,
Hmm.
and then I asked him if I can go for 6 days learning DaVinci and then some basic moves like white balance, how he creates looks.
Hmm.
And so I was there for 6 days, yeah, in
Great.
Germany, and then I went back, and then I bought officially Resolve,
Hmm.
and yeah, and then I start to work. Yeah,
So
I was
you
also in DO
so
course.
you skipped the first camera, the Blackmagic 2.5K or the 4K, because I'm asking this because
Yeah,
I knew
yeah,
Resolve by buying the first Blackmagic 2.5K, and the guy who I want to say that because it's a really funny story. The guy who sold me that camera, he said to me, I have to tell you one thing: this camera battery lasts just 10 minutes. And I was like, yeah, I know, because it's like a red, you need an external battery, V-Lock, and he was like, "Yeah, but I'm not that much into those things." He wanted like DSLRs with plug and play batteries, and then with the camera there was this USB with Resolve, and he was like, "I don't know. There is also this software. It comes with the camera." And then you resolved by that, by the way, in 2014, 13, yeah, with that, and then yeah, courses and stuff. But it's great that you made 6 days live. These are kind of courses that back in the days weren't that much available around, especially here in
No,
Italy. Uh, yeah,
yeah,
and six
no.
days
I
are
mean,
are,
it
are,
was.
are, are a lot also of days to properly know the software, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, and it was expensive. I don't
Yeah.
remember, but back in the days, now you can have Da Vinci course or color grading workshop all over the world if you
Yeah.
like. I mean, it's fine. But then I just Googled it, and then in Germany it came his name, and I asked him if it is possible. I
Hmm.
mean, it helped me a lot. It's not only for Resolve, but Blake Jones, he learned he learned it from the analog way,
Hmm.
and we did it just live gamma again the whole days. Not even, of course, we qualified because he instructed me how to use it, but the whole concept was only live gamma game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I learned it with just basic tools, and then you improve every year,
Mm.
hopefully. And today, I think it's more difficult because on several platforms, they teach you, of course, how you can grade it, but
Mhm.
they learn it with the wheels and then with the offset and then with the color warp and then with plugins with Dehancer or
Mm.
I don't know, all, all these plugins. And I think it's very hard
Yeah.
today to learn it from the ground up and then level up. I think you have too much choices because Resolve has endless, I don't know everything,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it has endless possibilities. And I'm very happy that I learned it just with Livcam again
Yeah.
and
That's the
figured out
way. That's the way it
how to
should
make
be.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the way it
yeah,
should be. I always say
yeah.
to my students during courses that you might start, working at first with offset, just with the offset for make like the
Yeah.
base adjustment, exposure, and white balance. I personally, I don't know you, but I normally white balance with offset. I just make the first pass by fixing the exposure and white balance just with the offset wheel, and also about all the other things. I don't even mention the fact that you can like tweak the contrast from the answer look designer, or look designer, maybe it's a thing
Hmm.
apart, but or with plugins it's better to
Good
use
one.
the base thing that you have inside Resolve, lift gamma and gain, or if you want to work with printer lights, even better in my opinion. But
Hmm.
yeah, we have too many things, but in my opinion, if the cinematography is good, you just need those three wheels. Also, tons of colors doesn't even use the gamma wheel because they also say that it's interfering with the gamma from the source that you are inputting or outputting, and it's kind of like changing the
Hmm.
mood of the gamma. But these are way of thinking
Yeah.
about it. It's not a thing that it's written on the manual. Don't use the gamma wheel. But tons of cars that
Yeah.
I see are not using it. By the way,
Hmm.
and
Yeah. A
also,
lot of things changes.
yeah, 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 for sure. And I asked this question before today to Matteo, another a DP actually that it's on our podcast right now, and maybe at the moment that our audience will be hearing this, it will be online. I asked him what will it be like another job or just another profession he would love to do if it wouldn't be a DP. And Davide, what you would like to do if
Hmm.
you wouldn't be a colorist?
So, good question. Today, I will say if I'm not a colorist, I would work maybe again with the camera,
Mm-hmm.
or in marketing.
Marketing, great. You
Yeah,
you
really.
you
Yeah,
you, you, you you
yeah,
miss
really.
no. I believe that. I can see also from your product that you have also knowledge on how to like properly present a product on a website. So I I can see that. And you miss a bit, working with the camera, or it's a thing that you don't feel.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it depends because I like to work in a team.
Hmm.
But since I'm a colorist, I work alone. Of course, I have some calls and emails, and there may be DOP is here or a director, but 90% of the time I'm pretty alone
Okay.
in the grading suite. So I miss the time and set with knowing the team. We work a lot in the same team, and yeah, I miss these days where you are outside or in a studio and talking to each other, working together. This is the thing that I don't miss the camera in a professional way. I miss the camera for myself. When I see something, I think, oh, if I can show this shot, it's nice, but in a professional way, I miss the whole vibe with the people. But I don't miss the camera that I want to make
Okay.
the most beautiful or expensive shots ever.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't have this anymore.
Ok, ok. Ti parlo in italiano perché c'è il microfono che mi sa che si è un po' scollegato e si sente male e dovrò tagliare una parte.
Il mio o il tuo?
Il tuo,
Il mio o il
prova,
tuo?
il tuo prova a staccare e attaccare o vediamo se è
Sì.
quello. Prova a parlare? Prova a parlare? No, adesso non ti sento più.
Aspetta un attimo.
Ok, perfetto.
Ok.
Perfetto.
Ok?
Sì, perfetto.
Dove sono rimasto?
No, allora hai iniziato a glitchare a metà della domanda e te la rifaccio, facciamo finta che non ti ho chiesto niente. And
Come
I
mi
ask,
fai la domanda?
sì, te la rifaccio potete zero, facciamo finta di niente, poi taglio in call. And I also asked this today to Matteo, another one of our hosts that will be at this moment. I think this episode it will be already online. What will be like? I won't call it a dream job, but another job that you will like to do if you want to be like a colorist. If tomorrow you have to start like making something new or something different, what it will be?
Yeah, maybe it will be working again with the camera, maybe, but I tend to work in marketing if
Yeah.
I were not a colorist.
Yeah, I can also see the fact that you are good with marketing from the product in your website and everything. It's presented properly, and also by
Thank you.
being a colorist, you have seen this kind of evolution during obviously these years, and you might well know that from the pandemic and even earlier, this this kind of color grading thing kind of explode on the web. What is a piece of advice that you would like to say to someone that is approaching to color right now? So no, not especially color grading, but to this world where you can become a DIT or a colorist, and maybe you want to make of this a profession. What will be your advice to someone that is starting from zero right now?
Yeah, so depend on where you are,
Mhm.
where you are living. I would say if you live in a country where the market, where you have a small market,
Mhm.
I would say take any job you can, even if it's not paid well.
Mhm.
If you are in a country where you have a lot of colorists, very good colorists, yeah, try to catch up with the senior
Mhm.
and try to work with them as a junior and make some practices, because the fastest way is with a senior. I
Mhm.
didn't have the opportunity because they are not a lot here and they are very busy.
Mhm.
But this will be my advice. Yeah, take
Great.
every job you can, or try to work in a post-production house with a very talented senior colorist. Yeah.
Okay, great. And about working at commercials or other types of works. There is like moments of the day where you work best. You work during the morning, at night. I know different colors that work at night, but what is your normal routine?
So my normal routine is I start at 9 o'clock in the morning,
Hmm.
and then I finish like 5 or 6 in the evening.
Okay, so during the day.
Back in the days, yeah, yeah, because back in the days it was different, because now I have since 6 years I have a child,
Hmm.
and it changed everything. So before I was just married,
Hmm.
I could do whatever I want. I even slept on the couch in my grading suite because I have work to do. I was not confident enough to say no,
Hmm.
so I just worked. And then at 7 o'clock, I was again up, not even showered, just in front of my screen again and work. Yeah. And then since my child is born, I thought, no, sometimes have to change now. And I said, I start at 9. Sometimes I work also at 7 or 8 because the deadline is tight. I
Hmm.
have no problem, or even I work till 7 o'clock in the evening, but this
Hmm.
is rare
Yeah.
situations. So I try to manage my schedule the way I have to treat a business. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't want to be like a hobbyist who work random,
Yeah.
from 6 o'clock in the morning, random till midnight, with lunch break and then chilling in the sun and then working again from 6 to 12. I don't like that anymore.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to treat it like a business, and I have like opening times.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, in rare situation, there is no way around. I have to start early and I finish late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also obviously everything changed when you are at first a couple, and then you have a
Yeah.
child. I can definitely understand then better during this year. So yeah, I made actually the same thing. So I understand this
Yeah.
because having a child let you like understand that you have to like put a bit of yourself more on obviously on the human side, on your family, on the newborn.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's for sure one thing, and that no one will understand until they became dad or mothers, and yeah, you have to become that. Even in Plasma
Yeah.
here we are four different guys, and I'm the one with a daughter, and it's always
Mhm.
kind of difficult trying to let them understand what it's like, to have a child that is waiting for you home. So yeah, I can definitely
Yeah. I
understand that.
mean, yeah. I mean, you don't have to. I
Hmm.
mean, parentship works also if you work long hours, but it was like my sign that maybe I have to change something instead of sleeping in the grading suite like a,
Yeah.
I don't know, like a workaholic. I mean, it changed a lot in a positive way because you know I am able to work long hours. I can handle the stress. I can
Hmm.
handle the working hours, but it makes you also tired.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it. It's no problem. You are just working and doing and feedbacks, and then the next one. But it's not healthy. So
No.
thanks to my daughter, it changed.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I can imagine that now today I was working till 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I can imagine that after the podcast, I can make a break till 7 o'clock or till 6, and then I work till midnight.
Yeah.
I could do that, but it's not healthy. Not
Yeah,
healthy.
it is not
Yeah.
for sure. And also,
Yeah.
before we wrap up the episode, I got a few more questions. And one
Mhm.
of these
Sure.
will be if you got one kind of personality, you already mentioned one, but if you have more personalities or just a few figures that have been mentors for you during the years.
Mentors. Yeah. As a colorist, right?
Yeah, or also as an artist, as a creative or
Okay.
something, someone, or just someone that maybe triggered you into becoming a
Hmm.
colorist, or maybe it triggered you into
Yeah.
something? I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't have just now one particular person in
Mm-hmm.
mind. My inspiration can also be, a book,
Mm-hmm.
a story from a man
Yeah.
who is struggling, and then with some philosophical thoughts, it can inspire you, or a song can inspire you with the
Mm-hmm.
right words. Yeah, or when you talk with friends, with real friends, not just friends, with real friends, when you talk about your struggle and that you want to be an entrepreneur or self-employed, and they give you courage and they believe in you, or your wife believes in you. These are all things that inspires me. It's not just one dude or one artist, or yeah, it can be anything. I have to say, even when I talk with the friends about what he is doing and why he is doing, and then we talk about this inspires you to go ahead and to try to keep your dreams. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great answer. Great answer. And also, one last question is: what do you think it will um, be? What do you think it will become, like color grading a piece, like commercial or whatever, in like 5 years from now? You might know about artificial intelligence. Have you? I don't know. Think about this on the color side. Obviously, we have Color Lab AI. We got Look Designer, but I think it
Yeah.
wider. You are you thinking on something, or just imagining something 5 years now on our profession?
Yeah, I think the concept of color correction, I can imagine it could be even more advanced.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if I now lose my job because of that, I don't think so, or I don't hope so, because at the end, because at the end, you deal with people. They don't book you as a colorist or DOP or whatever you do only because of your skills as a DOP or colorist. Of course, this is the main concept that they hire you, but then comes also the personal part.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, are you going along with this guy or with this woman or not? And the sympathy and your own style, not only as a human, but as an artist or colorist or DOP, the style you cannot replicate the style. The AI, of course, can mimic, of course, the Kodak look perfectly, but then something is missing too. But maybe in the future you can say, okay, make me the Kodak look. It's fine, but make it darker and wear darker. I can imagine you can do that, but I don't know if we as human want to do that at the end of the day. Now it sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has artificial paints. I see a lot of in Instagram, and at first you think, okay, that's great. It looks very, very good. But then at the end, I think, no, this is not art, and it will never be art for me
Mm-hmm.
because it is not on a canvas originally painted. It's just flat, it's just printed, or it's just on Instagram, or it's just on Facebook. It's just an image without, love. It's
Mm-hmm.
just keywords, and then something comes out. So I will never recognize something like that as art.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe one day we will go back to real art. And even if the AI will be very, very advanced, I don't think that we want that at the end when we make art as
Yeah.
a director, as a colorist, as DOP. At the end, at the beginning, it is interesting, it's exciting what you can do in seconds. But at the end, it has no soul. And
Mm-hmm.
when you put a film out and it's based on AI, I know it will not touch me in the same way that humans will do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Really, really
I think
interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
So,
it is
so
excited,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
It
it
is.
doesn't touch me.
Mm.
When I see art in AI and I look this beautiful, I don't know what, it doesn't touch me. It is just, it has no value. It has no
Okay.
value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great answer. Great answer. Great to know that. And let's see what the future will
Yeah.
will bring us. I'm excited to see what is going to happen to too many things. But luckily, tons of people right now are coming, back from long period of like social media and things, and they want more real things. And
Yeah,
I think that more real things eventually will come, even if the AI will take advantage of like doing more and more things. At the end of the day, we are a human being, and like robots can be similar to human being, but they can't be human being, and that's the fact. And too many movies let us learn that also. So yeah, on that side, I think we will be safe, and our job will be like safely not replicable by AI.
yeah, yeah,
That's
and even if it's possible, even let's say it is possible to make AI make us feel that the product of the AI
Mhm,
make us feel the same way that the human can do it. Let's say they can do that one day, and
mhm,
maybe it's possible.
mhm.
We never know. We as humans should not accept it.
Yeah,
To letting this be extend this far, because now because then the question will be, what are we now? Are
yeah.
we just garbage? Yeah.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
what value do we have? So why make life?
Yeah, yeah.
Why make love? So
Mhm,
we should never accept it that they can replace us, even if they can. Even if they can, we as humans should be how do you say that? Strong and human enough to
mhm.
deny it. It is
Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
It has its place, but we as human has the upper place, the better place, and not that they replace us. It is just insane if we accept it.
sure.
You know? Yeah.
Sure. Really, really deep question, and obviously, I think that we'll need more than few hours to talk about. But
Yeah.
for now, I'm really grateful to have you here, and I want to ask you where can our listeners find you online, where you want to send right now our listeners to.
Yeah. So I'm on my website, of course,
Mhm,
davescholar.ch. On Instagram, I don't remember the URL, but Davide Greco .colorist, I think it is.
mhm.
And this is it.
Great, great.
Yeah.
So thanks, Davide, again for
Thank
being
you,
here.
Filippo.
That's been a pleasure, and thanks for our listeners to have listened to our podcast. And Davide, I'll be seeing you really soon. Thank
Thank you
you.
very much, Filippo. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
プラズマバースポッドキャスト